What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Captain Cardiac. Today we have one heck of a video. We will be doing a brief history on Robert Griffin III. That's right, RG3. So ladies and gentlemen, RG3, he's a guy, when I talk about him, I feel like I should be talking about a guy who's an all-time great. But due to decisions made by people that aren't him, he won't be talked about like that. So, let's start this story. RG3 was born in Okinawa, Japan. Both of his parents were stationed there in the military. And then after bouncing around for a little while, they finally settled down in Copperas Cove, Texas. And in high school, RG3 was a 3-sport star playing basketball, football, and track. And in his 2 years as starter, he threw for 3,357 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 9 picks, as well as rushing for 2,161 rushing yards and 32 rushing touchdowns. Also, both years as a starter, he went to 2 state championships, but unfortunately lost both of them. And you know what's crazy? He didn't shine the most in football. He was quite amazing at track and field. He broke this in his senior year. He broke the state records for the 110 and 300 meter hurdles. And get this, guys, he was 1/100th of a second short of breaking the national record for 300 meter hurdles. That would kill me getting that close to a record and not getting there. Oh man. And he did originally commit to University of Houston, but their head football coach left. And so he attended Baylor. Also, because Baylor had a really good track and field program. So it's kind of crazy to think, if RG3 wasn't as good at track, he may not have been in the green and gold. Also crazy, RG3 was the Gatorade Player of the Year in track and field, and the 42nd overall player in the nation in football, which isn't bad, but it's not crazy good. But let's get into his freshman year. So, in his freshman year, he threw for 2,934 passing yards, 15 passing touchdowns, and 3 picks. So a very, very efficient passer. And then he also ran on the ground, ran for 13 rushing touchdowns, and was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year. So a nice freshman campaign. But unfortunately, Baylor finished with a 4-8 record. And then he pretty much did nothing his sophomore year. But on the 3rd game of the year, he got an isolated ACL tear. So that doesn't sound very fun. And then in his junior year, he threw for 3,501 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 8 picks, and 8 rushing touchdowns. So not as efficient on the ground or through the air, but he did lead them to a 7-6 record, which is quite nice. And okay, so the last time I'm going to talk about track for RG3, because I know most of y'all are here to hear me talk about football, but RG3 was the Big 12 400 meter hurdle champion and finished 3rd nationally. Moving on though. So then during his senior year, Baylor didn't look like they were gonna be that great. They looked like they were gonna get a .500 record, or just not look that great. Guess what my dog RG3 did? First game of the year, at 15th ranked TCU. I know, looks like they're gonna lose. RG3 came out 359 passing yards. Boom. Picks up a huge victory against TCU, and then gets Baylor to their first ranking in 15 years. Then RG3 had a phenomenal senior year, throwing for 4,293 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 6 picks, as well as rushing for 699 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. His draft stock, before this year, he didn't look like he'd be picked in probably the first 2 rounds. Then, he moved up to the 2nd overall pick. It's pretty good. Then, he led Baylor to a 10-3 record, and then got an Alamo Bowl victory over Washington and the highest scoring bowl game of all time. So RG3 had a thrilling time in Baylor and really put Baylor on the map, because obviously, before this, Baylor wasn't relevant, and RG3 really came in and just lifted Baylor up. So good job, RG3. And now we move on to the 2012 NFL Draft. RG3 also it was a battle between Andrew Luck and RG3. RG3 won the Heisman. But Andrew Luck, he looked like more of a safe bet. So the Colts picked him 1st overall. And then the Redskins made probably the biggest trade in NFL draft history, trading up with the Rams for number 2. They gave up a 2012 first round pick, 2013 first round pick. Oh wait, I'm not done. I also gave up a 2014 first round pick and a 2012 second round pick. So immediately the pressure's on RG3 to come in and play when you're pretty much selling your everything, your future right there for 3 years for RG3. And then he came in and he wreaked havoc his rookie year. He broke records and he came in and just like last year, first game, the Redskins weren't projected to do crazy good. They're against the New Orleans Saints. Guess what RG3 did? 320 passing yards, 42 rushing yards, 40-32 victory, and the NFC Player of the Week. Just RG3 just rises up on his debuts. It's crazy. Then RG3, he was playing quite well, just getting a win here and there, and then in week 5, he got a minor concussion in Atlanta, but he did return the next week. And guess what? Later in the year, RG3 was playing Baltimore, and Haloti Ngata hit him in his knee and twisted it. And then RG3 was, you could see that he wasn't 100%. And then later, after he got tackled in the 4th quarter, he had to walk off the field. He sat out the next week and then did come in week 16 and pick up a win against the Browns. And then the crazy thing is that at one point in the year, the Redskins were 3-6, and then RG3 took them on a 7-game winning streak. It took them straight into the playoffs. And then this wild card game is where it gets really controversial. So RG3 wasn't clear to play. All the doctors said you should sit him out. Mike Shanahan put him in, and he re-injured his knee. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. Even if you don't really know who RG3 is, this is a very widespread image. But RG3, he won Offensive Rookie of the Year and was nominated to the Pro Bowl, but obviously couldn't compete because he was injured. And then he finished his year with 3,203 passing yards and 16 touchdowns and 12 picks, so quite good. And then his next year's in Washington, he just failed to replicate the success he had in college and in his rookie year. He showed flashes, but ultimately he kept getting re-injured, or he just played way too inconsistently. Then he was released at the end of 2015. Besides that, RG3 did lead the Browns to their first win in 2 years, and right now he's currently signed a contract with Baltimore, so it'll be interesting to see how RG3's career ends. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video or subscribe if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, and comment down below. What do you think about RG3's career and story? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye, guys.